Okay, so welcome back to my channel. If you're on Patreon, hey y'all. So I'm gonna do Mars in the first house synastry overlay today. Now, I saw a comment somebody had left me, and they were like, "When are you gonna do Mars in the first house synastry?" I'm like, "Bitch, what are you talking about? I already did it." Well, I looked at my library and apparently I did not. Actually, I did do a Mars in the first house synastry overlay video like maybe like a month ago or something. But I was on one whenever I did that video because this is not, it's not my favorite placement, okay? So I can see how I overlooked it. So I'm just gonna freestyle this shit. I don't expect it to be that long because it's Mars in the first house. There's not much to say except for the fact that you two find each other extremely attractive, and it's sick. I mean, like, and the reason is because you have to, because of the energy that Mars brings to the first house. I mean, you have to find them attractive because of how they act. Because if you didn't find them attractive, ain't no way in hell, any way, a relationship would ever be established. Because Mars really tries the first house person. Mars, what they're attracted to, they're also jealous about. Because they want the house person to quote unquote act right. They don't mind supporting the house person. In fact, they love to support the house person because they find the house person. Mars is in Aries. Well, especially if it's the Aries, but Mars is in its home in the first house because the first house is the house of identity. It's the house of Aries. You know, it's Martian energy. So you get in where you fit in here, and Mars immediately is attracted to the first house person. I mean, there's no question about it. The first house person. The good thing about this, especially if you are somebody who is a little bit on the superficial, shallow level, which I'm a Leo, so I don't give a fuck, I am. Looks matter to me. So I don't like, if you're somebody who doesn't like to second guess when you look at somebody, you want to know for a fact. Like, when I look at you, I know I'm attracted to you. I know I could fuck you. Like, this could happen. And you don't want to like look at a motherfucker over and over again to wonder, would I do it? Would I not? Am I trying to have that? Am I going to be proud of that when I wake up in the morning? You know, no, for sure. Whenever Mars in the first house, when you have this synastry, you for sure are like, oh yeah, baby is bad. I could do that. I want to tap it. So it's definitely not a boring synastry aspect. It's not. But the only thing is, if you are somebody who is, I understand being wild for sure. But if you are not, if y'all's Mars isn't matching, for instance, say you're a Mars in Capricorn, someone's a Mars in Aries, and your first house is in Aries. Mars in Capricorn and Mars in Aries have two different types of chill. Mars in Aries has no chill whatsoever. Mars in Capricorn is discipline. So they're not going to be feeling a Mars in Aries. Bless your heart if you even have this. If you have a Aries ascendant and a Mars in Capricorn, and you constantly have Mars and Aries type people who are on your dick, who are doing the fucking most, because Mars and Aries are absolute bullies whenever they find someone that they like. That's their love language, is to like bully you into a relationship. And that can be with any of them, you know what I mean? Unless you have like a docile ass ascendant like Pisces, which might be a little bit annoying to have that with somebody because, please let me breathe. Cancer would be nice to have because it's more, Mars and Cancer isn't going to do too much. They're going to kind of walk around the subject of the fact that they like you. They're going to do like, I don't know, little cute shit to show it. Excuse me, I got to cough. Now, Mars in Scorpio, it depends on the person. Being a Scorpio ascendant, I've had plenty of people with their Mars in Scorpio come into my first house, and I'm telling you, it took everything in me not to murk them. That you got one more time. Do not express your interest. Don't do it. Just don't. be on that Scorpio shit and just keep it on the fucking low. Because if you come to me with that energy, not every energy matches just because it's the same sign and just because it's conjunct. I want people to understand that. Like, it's not always going to be like, oh, we both have, you got Mars in Scorpio, I got Ascendant in Scorpio, so boom, we're going to be like fucking each other right away. Maybe. But I'm not going to like your energy outside of the bedroom. I'm going to need you to chill because my Scorpio doesn't like to be tried, okay? I don't like that shit. And you could feel like that because the Mars person just can't help themselves, because the first house is, it's impulsivity, it's Aries, it's picking, it's like trying to get a reaction because they don't know. It's like when when you were a little kid, right? You ever notice how little kids don't know how to like express whenever they're curious about somebody and they're in the same grade as them? Like, they do too much to get their attention, throw paper at them, spitballs, hit them, tease them, because they don't know, they're kids. They don't know, the proper way to say, yeah, you're cute, because they're kids, or it's like that, but as a grown-ass individual. It's like, how you can post something on Instagram or something, and there's always that one thirsty-ass person, or maybe a lot, but this person stands out because they do absolutely the fuck too much. And it's like, bitch, you about to get blocked. And then they make another account. And it's like, that was fast. So you really are trying me. You're really trying. See, that's how Mars gets the first house person's attention is, oh, and bless your heart if you have Leo ascendant and someone's Mars and Leo is coming into your first house. You are never going to know peace, bitch. It is going to be hell. That Mars and Leo was not going to stop until you pay attention to them. Oh my God. Okay, so we get that part, okay? Let's wrap that up. I'm not trying to have this video be so long. But let me talk about what the positive things are, except for being annoyed 24/7. You might just like their shenanigans if you're somebody who was probably raised around a lot of boys, or like, and this also goes for same sex. Because I've had women whose Mars came into my first house, and I was like, bitch, you need to chill, babe. Pipe down. Turn that shit, dial it down. I'm not on that right now. I'm not on that time. And you really don't want it with me. I know you're trying to flirt, but I'm not on that shit right now. You need to pipe that shit down. Bring it down. So I'm really getting tired of having to address the same sex thing. I really feel like all relationships across the board, get in where you fit in, okay? There's a little bit that's different between the heteros and the gay girlies and boys. But for the most part, it's the same. Someone's Mars comes into your first house, they're very attracted to you. They are very sexually attracted to you. And they pursue you like you're fucking prey. They hunt you until they get you, because that's the nature of Mars. You're activating them in such a way where they're like, your identity, your person, okay, that's your first house, your body, your style, everything. They want that. They want it next to them. They want to literally physically have you next to them, be with you. You know what I mean? They identify with you. And sometimes I'm telling you, it'll be like, bitch, you don't know me. Stop. Maybe after a while, like once you get used to them and stuff, but you gotta put your boundaries up. You gotta tell Mars you need to chill, which they may or may not listen. That's why the fights can start here. It literally can get physical because, yes, you can see this Synastry aspect with some domestic violence cases, because the house person really just needs Mars to chill. And the Mars person, especially if it's a jealous Mars, can get like I said, the same thing that attracts them to the house person is what makes them angry too. Because the Mars is also our anger and how we show it quickly, and then it calms down. Unless it's like a steady Mars. Somebody, especially if you got a delusional ass Mars, like a Mars with Mars square Neptune, who when they feel slighted, they make it up in their head like, oh, you try to do this, your actions caused this, I saw you flirting when you weren't, and it made me feel like this. And it's like, what world are you living in? My life does not pertain to you. I'm actually out here doing me, and not everything that I do is, you shouldn't really be watching me like that. First of all, it's creepy, you know what I mean? The Mars person really does have this entitlement to the first house person, and the first house person is just like, I can't, like, why? All I did was meet you once, and I didn't even speak to you, and all of a sudden you're staking your claim on me. I can't talk to nobody. I can't wear this, I can't wear that, because you tell me I gotta go change. Like, who are you? You don't tell me what to do. This is my life, this is my body, I will do what I want. And Mars is like, I'm not trying to hear all that shit, go change. Mars gets very jealous over the first house person, and I'm not trying to like give Mars a brutal beat down. I'm just saying, with this synastry in particular, I like Mars synastry, especially when it's in the second house. It's appropriate, it makes sense to me. The first house is just like, bro, you gotta like give me my space. You are always trying to get me in a chokehold, and I don't like that shit. But anyway, I mean, if you like that, like if you like to be picked at by your partner, or y'all, if you have Aries dominance in your chart, then you're going to love this. I mean, you're going to feel like you can express, they're going to match you in the fact that you can say what's on your mind, call this person a son of a bitch, and tell them that if they don't stop, you're going to fucking gut them in the throat. And then y'all are cool the next, like, 5 seconds after y'all argue. You know, this could be your speed. You know, you might actually like this, because this happens. You two will argue in public, and people will be like, bitch, should we call the fucking cops? Is he about to slide off on her ass, or is she about to murk his ass? I mean, you could be the couple that's arguing in Dollar General, or arguing at the restaurant, and everybody's like, what the fuck? Like, are they okay? You know what I mean? But then as quickly as it started, it stops. Mars is definitely supportive of the house person. It's just the house person, they always tell the house person, damn baby, you look so good. And they like to watch you in an action environment. Like, you could, first house person, you could be someone that is into sports, or if you're an athlete, and they're always there at your games, they're always there at your meets, they're always there supporting you. Mars does show up for the house person. They're proud of the house person. You know, they kind of like want to show that off. Like, look at what my woman does, or look at what my man does. You know, they're really out here, you know, showing up in the world. Mars likes the way the house person shows up in the world. They feel motivated by the house person. The house person feels motivated by the Mars person, you know, to get up off their ass and, you know, do something. And, you know, baby, you got this. You can do this. These two feed each other confidence, which is a very positive thing. The only thing is what their Mars is doing. You have to make sure that Mars is matching up. First of all, both of your Mars, are they square to each other? Are they trying each other? Are they conjunct each other? And also, what is their Mars doing? Is it with Saturn? Because then they're going to be controlling over you. Is it with Neptune? Because they're going to misread a lot of things that you do. This is your first house. So they see your body language. They see your interactions with others. They see how you dress. They see how you present yourself. And you got to see, how is their Mars aspected? And how is your Mars aspected? So that way, you know, how are they reading your body language and your behavior? And are they triggered by it? You know what I mean? Because this is a very impulsive house, and a lot of triggerization can happen here. So just to keep those things in mind. It's not a bad placement to have. It's not for everybody. It's not my cup of tea, because I really can pump myself up. I don't need anybody else to do that for me. But I understand if you need a confidence boost, or you want a partner that is just like team you, you know, that's definitely something. This is definitely that synastry aspect. But however, just keep in mind, there's a caveat. They are going to get jealous, because the same things that attract them to you, like the one things that they love about you, are the same things that they can be jealous of. So just something to keep in mind. So that was Mars in the first house Synastry. I'm glad that's over. I love how quick that was. Okay, see y'all.